All right, we are live. Welcome to a live Morelia Python Radio. It's just Owen and
Because
I.
we couldn't get our shit together for the week to record.
Well, I do. So
It is, yeah.
oddly enough, I had Tuesday. I wake up and we were going to do a show and everything was good, and somehow I had flashback of COVID shots, and I had 102 fever,
Jesus.
chills.
I was about to say, like, 'cause you're like, can we do it tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, we're good. And then you're like, can we do it the next day? I'm like, yeah,
like
you're
changed
fine.
it like
And I'm like,
10 times.
this is the first time he's ever been like to me. Normally, I'm like, dude, can we do it later? Like, you're like, can we do it any other time? I'm like, yeah, dude, like, I'm fine. You're the busy one. I got no problems.
So sorry that we're late, but we're still here.
No, we're late, but we're early because we're not supposed to start until 8. So technically, we're giving you 8 more minutes.
Oh, wow.
How generous are we?
How nice are we?
I mean,
what's up, everybody in the chat? We have, obviously, and I've changed the name. It's Dry Mark Khan Collude Radio is what we're about to.
What the hell's happening?
Just add another podcast to the mix.
Please stop. Please,
yeah.
we don't have any more.
I can't do no more.
I may have made a deal that we're probably going to have to honor at some point, which I should probably tell you now.
This doesn't sound good.
It isn't. Jim was threatening to find a way to crash the live stream. So to placate him, I said that when we are going to have Northeast Carpet Fest again, I will allow him to come on the show and announce it. So.
Oh, okay. That's fair enough.
I figure if we record him announcing that Carpet Fest is returning triumphant, that will placate him. A bunch of people will also enjoy that, and then I don't have to worry about him like finding his way through YouTube. I'm constantly trying to stay one step ahead of him.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I like it. All
right. I figured you wouldn't be too mad.
No, not with Jim. Not when it comes to Jim.
Not with Jim. Anybody else can go to hell. But
so we're going to talk about. I guess tonight we're just going to snakes, and we're going to talk about breeding season updates. Owen's got some new additions. He's now an official YouTuber.
I hate myself. And the first video, like, I get bit, and I'm like, no, I'm not one of these people. Like, it's.
So let's start there. So for anybody that don't know, right here on the NPR Network YouTube channel, we've been talking about trying to do some extra videos and
content, always content. Yeah,
that's Riley's always saying
make content, record it. I'm like, record what? What are you talking about? So. If it were up to him, we'd have cameras strapped to our skulls. But
so tell us what did you? So you can go watch this unboxing.
You can go watch the glorious unboxing video where that is hard when it's just you. Like it's 2 large pythons. Like, this wasn't like 2 little shits in a deli cup. This was they were considerable and not happy. So they
were quite content where they were, but
the one kept trying to get back. What you don't see is that the male took 2 attempts because I tried to get him out of the bag and he kept crawling back in it. And I'm like, all right. So I had to cut it, figure out a way, and then reshoot it because it was just pandemonium.
Oh man.
That was a glimpse behind the curtain, if you will, of like, this will be on the DVD commentary.
Can I just point out the first thing that made me so happy that you did not do
not in the snake room
and true YouTuber snake tuber fashion, you did not. I repeat, did not open the new snakes
in the
snake room,
surrounded by my all of my serpents. No, they're actually up here because I have the rack right next to me, and that's quarantine. So they're up here so that, and I did all the stuff that I was going to do with the snakes earlier today because I come up here and now I'm shut off from going downstairs.
Right.
That's what you're supposed to do. Not open them up in your snake room, because Riley told us that there's something how mites can live in cardboard for like months at a time.
Oh God.
Yep. Burn the boxes, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
So, you know, and that's what he always said is when he gets cat is trying to close the door on me. So when he gets like crickets and stuff, he says he leaves the cardboard in a bin because the baby crickets will come out of the cardboard, and give it like a couple weeks, and all of a sudden you've got a bunch more crickets than you were expecting. So yeah, no, I don't never unbox an animal in your snake room. And also when you unbox a brand new animal, never go back into your snake room. It's like how if I know I'm coming over your place, I don't go into my snake room until I get back from your place because it's common courtesy. Like, come on.
Right.
Anyway, Rob contacted me because Rob absolutely loves Timor pythons, but he also kind of hates them. So it's like,
I think this is like his fourth or fifth
he does
try.
He does the thing that like I do with womas, where I'm like, I have them and I'm like, they're cool. And then like after a year or so, I'm like, fuck these things. And then like I ditch them because now this is my third iteration with womas that I'm gonna ship over to Lucas because I failed miserably. But he and I were talking, and you guys can listen to past episodes recently where I talk about Timors, and we all talk about how we know a guy who might be getting rid of his Timor python. So this was like a not good like secret that Rob might want to get rid of his womas, at least between the NPR people. So I was talking to you and I'm like, I don't know, man. You're like, will you just fucking do it? And I'm like, all right. No, all right. Good enough. So I'm like, dude, let's talk to me. And we figured it out. And he sent them over and I'm like, all right, Rob. And this is when two herpers like trade animals or go back and forth with sales. I'm like, all right, Rob, I'm available this day. Here's the FedEx depot I want to send to. Here's everything you need. Let me know. And he's like, thank you. I'm like, he's like, thank you for not trying to have them shipped to your house. I'm like, okay. So I went and I picked them up and I decided that Riley's like, do an unboxing video. So we shot that, and the male is in shed, but he looks damn good for being in shed.
Yeah, man.
He's a pretty nice sized animal too. He's about 3-4 foot. I mean, he's considerable. And of course I'm saying that, and I was looking at my monsters yesterday and I took a picture of the female because she was about ready to rip my face off because she was hungry.
Oh, was that the one you put up?
Yeah, the one that I showed you. I'm like, just size comparison. This is the, 3-year-old 4-footer, and this is my like 10-year-old. Like, yeah, okay. So, but and then she just came out of a shed, according to Rob. So, but she was gorgeous, and I am extremely happy now that I'm at 2.2, and this just kind of goes into my craziness because I'm like, well, the male's gonna shed, so what I'll do is I'll take his shed and I'll put it in one of those sealing bags that I have for like food preserving stuff. And I'll seal it up. I'll vacuum seal it. And then I'll do this. And I'm saying this all out loud. And Melissa's like, he's going to shed more before breeding season, right? Yes. What's your point? She's like, why are you doing this now? When you can just wait a couple months and get one when it's closer. Because I might forget later. Will you? Shut up. Shut up. So yeah, that's where we're at. But they're gorgeous. I absolutely love the fact that I'm back at 2.2 because I had like 5 or 6 Timors at one point, and then I kind of drifted down to 1.1, and I think you need more than 1.1 for a rare species like that. So I'm definitely glad about that.
Yeah. It's so okay. You got. Oh my goodness! It's the other buddy. Wow.
We didn't.
What's up, Mr. Pingle?
I could be very mean. I could be very mean to him, but I'm not. I know
you are.
I've already said what I needed to say to him this week about how
he just had an awesome trip to.
He had a great
Arizona.
Trip. He had a Arizona, fantastic trip. Yeah.
No, Arizona, right? Yeah.
Arizona. Yep. He had a fantastic trip to Arizona. Where all the snakes he found were in a zoo. So,
Well, that's the thing, right? You know what's funny about like herping, right? It's
Yeah.
like everybody
Faucet on, faucet off, and then
me and Rob were talking about this today. Like, like there's this idea that like you just go out into
you're
these
tripping
places
over shit.
and you're just gonna find snakes everywhere. And it's
Yeah.
just not how it works, man. I mean, you got to put some work into it, and some time into it, and
thank God it's a
some
beautiful place.
luck it has to come into it,
Right. I mean, thank God it was a beautiful place. Could you imagine if he goes to Arizona, strikes out on finding things, but then it was like cold as shit, or like rainy, or like he wasn't able to enjoy like the scenery, or like the museums were closed or some bullshit. Like that would piss me the hell off. So
hell yeah.
Yep.
All right, so you got the two. Let's get back on track at Team Wars. You got 2.2, which is a nice group. Did you see any action at all from your?
I saw action from my older pair last year. This past year, they were cuddling up a lot,
right?
And also they were both very subdued, but I didn't really see anything from them.
Okay.
But now that they're separated, like that female was up on her tree and dangling down straight up, ready to murder anything.
Anything that came by.
Anything. Yeah. The male has been kind of subdued, but that's how he always is. So I don't know. I don't know if they're starting to settle in, get in with the seasons, kind of figure that stuff out. I'm just happier because now I have a boy that's smaller, thinner, and that I can probably use to get the other male riled up, or use instead of the other boy. Because it seems like with my luck, it's like always the new male that I get in seems to be the one that breeds, because that was the same way with my olives. I had that one pair forever.
Yes.
And then I got the other pair as adults, and that male was the one that bred my original female last year and then bred the other female this year.
Okay.
So that boy is the one that's breeding, but he's getting both females. So it's like the new boys always seem to be the ones that do the work for me. The boys that have been with me for forever just are lazy assholes. So
yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. Do you think that sometimes it just has to do with the fact that some pairs are not compatible? I mean,
yeah, I mean, yeah.
I think I don't know if it was one of the recent. I don't know which episode it was, but the Reptile Fight Club. It was. I think it was the last. I can't keep track, man. There's so many podcasts I edit and upload, and
we're at this point, we're a goddamn radio station.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But basically, it was talking about the idea of certain, maybe if it's rare reptiles, like Chuck was talking about Halmahair scrubs and how he had a group of them, right? So, but if something is like $1,500, you can't really buy a group of $1,500 snakes. Sometimes I think that's what holds back. Like, I think of Scott with his pair of Moluccans and stuff. If you have like 4.4 of a group, or 6.6, or some kind of substantial group, you have something that you can move around with, and you might have more success with breeding them.
Right.
And
it's like that, and also it's like, I've been trying to breed water pythons the last 3 years. I only have 1.1. So if my male's shooting blanks or doesn't have any interest in the female, or I can't get what triggers her to ovulate, I'm never going to produce them. But if I had 4.4, 3.5, one of them's going to go, or might go. And then the next year, that female that bred for me that 1 year might not go next year, but one of the other ones might. Right. So you can start kind of building that, and then when you raise offspring the same way, or the way that you normally keep pythons their entire lives, it'll make it easier. Yeah. So I mean, like, dude, I have several carpet pythons that several carpet python females that I've tried to breed that have not bred for me. I have two that the past 2 years I tried to breed them, and I have nothing, zero from both.
Yeah.
But I have other carpets that will, lay eggs if the male like passes by the cage. So it's just the way it is. So it makes it look like I don't have the failures that I have, because I'm right. I have to bring in another rack system tomorrow.
Oh yeah. You overshot the target, my man.
I overshot it by I'm sitting there and I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, I have about 40 bins open. I'll go check the egg. I'll go check the incubator. I'm like, shit, there's 27 eggs in the next clutch that are due. Shit.
shit.
Shit. That's it. I'm done. And that's one clutch, and there's 3 more after that. Plus the stuff that I have. Oh yeah. Plus the stuff I have at other people's houses I'm getting half of. Plus the Madagascar hogs. Plus we haven't even talked like about things like the Cali Kings and the corn snakes and the rhinos. It's like shit.
Yeah. Shit. You know, I think if I were to ever try to breed Timor pythons again, my approach would probably be to talk to a retic breeder and figure out how to breed retics, and then I would probably do that.
Yeah.
That would be what I would think.
That's probably my thinking. I was very mean to them, and I treated them like I do the olive pythons and the breadlie this year.
Cold.
Okay. Cold.
Yeah.
And I did use the ultrasound, and I did catch her building follicles, but it never really kind of went a certain point. Further. Never went further. And again, that might just be the boy. So you get a younger male in there, maybe he'll breed her. Maybe we'll have success. Maybe I'll be knee deep in Timor python babies, and I'll be the happiest person ever because they'll all be mine.
That would be pretty cool. I think I have an article on how Dave Barker bred him at his zoo. I'll have to
send that to me.
Yeah, I think
I'll have Melissa read it, and then she can tell me the gist of it.
She can give me the clip notes.
She can give me the clip notes.
All right.
Yeah.
Enough.
So I mean, that's how it's going to have to be. So.
All right. What's the better problem, to have too many or too little?
Too little.
Too little. I'd say too many.
Too little. Too little.
Wait, are we
talking
problem?
about eggs, babies, baby Rex?
Which I hear is not as near. Oh, okay. Breeding Timors might be a lot like breeding wild. Yeah. That was my thought, right?
All right.
Like
so what
breeding wild caught retics.
I'll get some wild caught retics and try it with them.
Well, talk to Garrett. You know, I'd hit Garrett up. I'd say, Garrett, can you give me some tips?
Wild caught retics. They're like yours. What? Yes. Babies?
Yeah. What?
Hatchlings. So I guess having hatchlings. Too many hatchlings is definitely not the worst, because like right now I'm going through and I have a ton. I didn't hit the numbers when it comes to coastals, as well as also with Eric. I was talking earlier of my zebra jag to jungle clutch. I'm getting a lot of non-zebras and non-zebra jags. I'm getting a lot of.
It's so funny how like
that hurts me. Like it hurts that I'm.
I have the
breakdown. They are 62.5% jungle and 37.5% coastal. This hurts. Okay.
Yeah.
The lowest percentage of coastal I've ever produced.
Okay, so let's talk about that red zebra jag was the red zebra jag that I produced, that
broke out of the incubator.
That broke out of your incubator.
Yep.
When I failed at maternal incubation. So that snake was bred. So I bred a zebra jag to a red tiger, to a Balin red tiger, and I produced this like sort of like kind of weird. That's kind of a weird pattern for zebra jag, and it had red in it. And well, shit, man, I forgot. This is we can show pictures as we go. But
we can do that. I was excited because I thought I was the one carpet python. I don't even know what to call it. The one python that hatched, it looked, because the way it was hatching, I could only see like its chin and a little bit of its coil.
Right.
I thought it was a really funky striped kind of like zebra jag. And I had that oh shit moment where I have to be like, I'm gonna take a picture of this animal, and it's gonna be like a pinstripe zebra jag red that Eric has told me like that he wanted to produce, that I told him was impossible. I'm gonna have to put it in the freezer because I'm not gonna deal with this. Like I'm not gonna sit there and
deal with that.
Nope, I can't. I can't sit there with the I told you it was possible, and you did it.
So you supposedly produced what you thought was a red zebra, right? Okay.
Yeah, so, at least kind of reddish.
I want to show you what it looks like when you just add in, right?
Yeah.
Hold on.
We can do that. The audio people will not know any of this.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's their fault. You can watch it on YouTube.
Yes.
Oh.
That's a red zebra?
Yes.
With Exantic in it.
What the hell is that from?
It's from my red
Broom. Shut up.
red Axanthic zebra.
It's from
pairing.
over here. Oh, okay.
It was an Axanthic jag to an Axanthic zebra.
Okay.
And out popped that red.
Out popped that red. So I have the jag. I'm sorry, the zebra.
But,
that I have is definitely more of a busy patterned zebra.
Yeah.
And it's like classic zebra. It's the first zebra I've ever produced, which is sad.
Really?
Yeah.
For some reason, when you sent that and you're like, "Oh, this is the first zebra I ever produced," I
never did zebras. I had zebras, but
really,
my male turned out to be a female, and then by the time I figured that out, and I sent it away,
forgot about that. Yeah,
I brought it back, and I sent it away, and brought it back. I never had jungles. Then by the time I got it, I'm like, screw this, I'm done, and I never actually bred the zebra. And then I had a zebra jag, but I never had females for it. And then he eventually died. And then now I have your zebra jag. And again, it goes to the saying of new males seem to be the best for me. He bred the female right away, straight away. And then the other jungle male that I have is a striped jungle from Billy. That bred 2 females this year, including the female ocelot that I got from you. What have you done to me?
Oh, that's so great. I love it. There you go. That's a nice snake. There he
is. Yeah, it's him.
That's a nice snake.
He's gorgeous. Yeah, the red is definitely still there. And I love that because that's very, very pretty, but it's not what you expect in a jungle carpet. Yeah. It's like, oh. So I'm hoping that I get another zebra jag like him just because I do like that. Even though he's a horrible, horrible monstrosity.
That's a pretty snake, though.
He's pretty. You have to give him that. If you just want to do pretty snakes, he's a pretty snake. So
it's what I call again, I don't know if it's really, it's just a red tiger zebra jag, but I guess
would it be red zebra tiger jag or red tiger zebra jag? Where do they go in the order?
So what I would do, and I was telling you this earlier, right? And you produced that red zebra. So if I was still doing mad scientist crazy morph stuff,
what happened to you?
I know,
who broke you?
I don't know.
Australia?
Man.
Did Australia hurt you? Because you used to be my beautiful monster. Where it's like flip this switch, Igor.
Now you're broke.
And I shuffle across the room. Yes, master.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Now you're just like, I don't know. I think I might do like one diamond python and then play my acoustic guitar as the baby's hatch.
That's right.
Sorry, didgeridoo. It's of course.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, that's the way
it's not Australian. It's, get that shit out of this place. No, I would probably. So you got that red jag.
I got that
from me it's like MBB red jag. So
no,
I would take.
No,
that.
You would do that.
Oh my god, man, that would be crazy looking. think about the red jags that I produced, and think about the ones that Eric Hernandez produced.
You're taking
then putting it into a zebra
coastal.
jag.
No,
dude, I'm telling you, that snake would be insane.
No.
Oh gosh, I'm telling you.
No, you're taking, dude, and the red jag I have from you, the red tiger jag. Yeah, she is by far one of my favorites because
she's beautiful,
absolutely fucking gorgeous, and she's a pure coastal.
Yes,
and I have so many plans for her. Like I have that red tiger that other buddy produced. He's going to go great with her at some point. But then I have a red tiger from Balin. I have my own shit that I've also fucked around with. I have my Axanthic stuff that I might cross in there. She's so many plants.
Yeah.
Eric Hernandez does not agree. That whoever that is not Eric. That is someone kidnapped Eric.
We just started talking about red
reds, and he emerged.
Showed up.
Where did he
just came.
From? Did he hear it?
Yes. So I'm telling you, man, that would be where I would go. Like, okay, think about this.
Eric. I'll send you the zebra, okay, and then you
think about this. Just think about it. Hear me out, man. Hear me out. Right.
Well, the problem is that it's a girl, so can't even do it.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
No, man. I can't breed 2 females.
No, you can't breed 2 females, but you can get a red jag from Eric. I'm sure he has some, and you can get a male, and then or you can breed that girl and save back a
male,
produce a male and breed it.
Why would I do that?
I am telling you, man, that thing would be incensed. Think about that jag, right? That I just showed, the one that's the dad, right?
Yeah.
and think about that color, and then think about that bone white color with those, with its super red and
super red inside the really
with
kind of
the
thin
black
saddles.
dots just going around the red saddles, dude. It would be insane. I'm telling you. And then if you
As
made a
Rogue Reptiles
zebra,
dies.
if you made a zebra, take the jag out of it, right?
Yeah,
You know, and
just
now
great
you're
zebra.
talking my language, right? But
Yeah.
anyway, take the jag out of it, and now you got that zebra. And I know it'll be a cross, but who knows when the complete carpet 2.0 comes out? You know, they'll probably all be the same. Who knows? So everybody can just like woo, put them together. It's a party.
I can't. So we should start digging foxholes now for when that book comes out. Like,
Yeah.
can we get some kind of advanced copy so that we know the
What's
shit
gonna
we're
happen?
about to walk in here? Because like, I don't want to turn on my computer and be like, the carpet world is on fire. Like, it's,
you know, that's sort of the exciting thing was
Right.
always exciting. So I'm not saying I don't breed or whatever, and then you cross it with an ivory zebra. Yes, gelatin jungle. Woo! If you were I would then, after I did that, right after
Right.
I made the red
this
zebra,
is like page 12
crazy
of the breeding book. Yeah.
crazy MBB red zebra, right? I
Yeah.
would then go and breed it to an exantic, right? And then I would breed it, right? I would breed it to a hypo and just boom, dude, that snake would be on fire. It would be on fire. I'm telling you, it would be crazy.
Dear God.
Yeah. See? There you go. Eric's got some exantic Russians for you. You know, the fun thing about always breeding morphs to me, like I know it seems like everybody, well, let's say it seems like I always poo-poo morphs as of late, which I don't know, man.
You still have how
not what
many?
I'm saying. Yes,
you have a ton of morph projects.
Yes, 100%. But that was always the fun part, right? It's like coming up with those breeding ideas and where you're going to take it and all. And I think the thing that like a lot of morph breeders forget a lot of times is that to selectively breed those morphs is going to set you apart from somebody else. So if you have like, you know, I mean, Eric is a perfect example. Look what he's doing with red, right? He focused on this gene and he just knocks it out of the park, man. And his animals are just just crazy sick.
And it's also because I think a lot of people, breeders and myself especially, is that we take it and we produce it and it's really cool and then we sell it and then we don't take, some people don't take it and move it forward. Like I was never big on holdbacks when I was younger. Now I'm keeping at least 2 from every clutch just because you never know where the projects are going to go. You never know if an older animal is going to die. You're going to need to fill a slot. And it's this kind of stuff. So, it's better to have a bunch of 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds that you need to sell because you're running out of space than to have to try to let ready to go females sit for a couple of years because you're raising a male. There's nothing wrong with that, but it does hurt your breeding scheme if you have to wait 2 or 3 years for a boy to grow up after selling like its older brothers 2 years before. Right. So it's that kind of stuff, but nobody really takes the next step. So you're right. This red zebra is badass. I can't wait for it to shed because I am very much the proponent of it looks cool. Let me see it after it sheds. Like, let me see.
I know you're
further down the road. I'm not. I am not that kind of guy who's like, oh my god.
It just makes sense that you wouldn't believe in Bigfoot, man. It just
shut no. You get that's your one per episode. I don't want to fucking hear that thing.
No, I'm just saying. Like,
anyway,
like me, I'm
you're right. I'm
just
based in science and proof, and you're based in I don't know fairies.
I see like this crazy snake catcher. You're like, wait till it sheds.
Exactly.
And I'm like, God damn it, couldn't I just have a day? Just a day.
No, come back to reality with me.
Yeah,
but it's because here's the thing: is that now is the time when people like first time carpet breeders are hatching out eggs, and that's awesome. Congratulations, more power to you. But there's always that one person who's like, my jag doesn't look like all the other jags that I've hatched out. And I'm like, how old is it? An hour. It's like, okay. All right. Okay.
Just
wait.
Take a breath.
Like just calm down.
Take
like
a breath.
I understand because I don't know about you, but I've gotten jags where the back is like darker and then down the side is lighter.
Yes.
Looking right at it, right when it comes out of there, you're like, what the fuck's wrong with this one? Because there's usually one right next to it that hatched and is the exact color all the way from tip to tip.
Right.
from the tip of his nose, tip of his tail, and you're like, well, that one doesn't look like that one. Did I hatch something really cool? It's like, like, wait, because that's not even close to what the colors are going to be on the animal.
Yes.
As they get older. So
yeah, and especially, carpets, they change so much as they go in.
Exactly.
That ontogenic color change.
Yeah, so that zebra's red now. Who's to say in like a month it's not going to be like black and brown? I'll be like, well, sucks to suck. Like it.
Well, it doesn't have Darwin in it.
No,
it doesn't have IJ in it.
Never bred Darwin's. Balin bred my IJs.
Right. So no, I mean even just the cross, it doesn't have any of that in it. So that red has to be coming from the coastal. I would say that red is coming from Balin's red stuff. That's what's transferring.
Yeah.
Over,
Which
now, that
I've
looked
read a
like
ton of Balin red stuff.
Yeah. I don't know, man, but it would be cool to see.
So I do have another issue is that I bred my big female to one of my caramel jags, and she's the one who produces, like, she's the tiger without the stripe. So I'm getting a ton of really, 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 really good looking caramel jags. And I'm like, ooh, I'm like, no, I don't need any more. Like, no, why did I do this to myself? So, yeah.
It's so funny, right? I spent all these years putting these projects together, and this year, right? Yeah. You took all my jags, everything, basically. And Riley has that albino citrus tiger that came, that he patched out.
Get that to breed either. Yeah.
So he produced that, and which I couldn't be more excited, man.
Yeah.
And that thing is going to be amazing. So if you didn't get a chance to check out what we're talking about, go over to Riley Jimison, his YouTube channel, and it was his last video that he did, and he talked about producing the albino citrus tiger. And man,
they're pretty,
dude. Wait till they're going to be pretty sick.
They're going to be very
they were going to be nuts
because they don't look right. It's like we've all seen hatchling albinos,
dude. They're sick,
and they hatched, and I'm like, color's wrong. Like it's not.
Yes,
it's not the right color. It's close, not the right color. Hang on to those because I'm really hoping that what you get is that you would have like the yellows, the pinks, and the stuff like that. I hope it just bleeds with that like orangey kind of citrus color. Yes. But you still have the pure white.
And he has those the portals on the side, and oh man, dude, I'm so happy that he produced them, man.
Yeah,
I couldn't be happier that he produced those things. But I'm trying to see.
It's, to be honest, every jag that was old enough to breed here that you sent me, produced except for the Exanic, because I put him in with my head Exanic female, and like I said, I am you 5 years later, so like you had all those problems with your head Exanic, and I made fun of you, and now I can't get mine to do shit.
Right.
So yeah. Next year though, I'm taking that Exanic jag that you sent, and I have a tiger 100% head Exanic from Ryan.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do that because I know how to do tigers and jags, and it's coastal stuff. I should be able to do that. If I can't, I quit.
Let's see. I'm going to show this picture real quick.
Yep.
So, like,
it's not right. It's like the pink.
The stripe is like I knew. So this is usually all black.
Yeah.
And gray. And I think that you got all those. Oh, dude, I'm telling you, man, this thing is going to be nuts.
The pink going down the dorsal color, like we've seen baby albinos, like that is a dark kind of like salmon color, and I'm like, that's.
Like right here,
that's not what it's supposed to be. That's not right.
So
that's not. So that's something that I think would be very cool.
And then here was the other one.
That one's just weird because look at the dots.
Yeah, dude, that's like a ball python pattern, man. Like,
I don't like it anymore.
I knew I shouldn't have said that.
It. Now kill it with fire. I hope you're happy. So,
but
no, that's badass.
That's going to be crazy. The portals on the side there and everything. Oh man,
dude, chunky little baby.
Yeah. That's great. So I'm so happy for Riley. That's an amazing thing. So speaking of red, right? And I've talked to you about this before, right? So we have the red jungle that Will Bird had. That was like, whatever happened to them? Right? They just kind of
Well,
like,
I know. Balin produced it,
right?
because I was at the Hamburg when Wilbur bought it.
I'm talking about the other ones
other
that
ones.
Wilbur produced. You know what I'm saying? Like
in the same line or no?
it's in the same line,
Right.
And it's from the one that
right.
Balin
And he produced it,
Right.
and he bred them, and they look insane, and they do kind of look weird when they color up, when they grow up. Like, it's not the color, the yellow to black ratio is fucked up, and it's not what you would think about when you look at a normal jungle.
Right.
So I know that he was trying to present them as a new morph with a super form. I think the last time I heard.
I think that was right.
And I'm not sure. I mean, all credit to him. He did hold them all back. He did the breedings, and he says that it had a super form. It never had a name. And I think he was trying to sell the project, or at least like some adult animals and some babies for, I don't know the amount. I know there was a comma, but
dude, it was crazy amount.
Like,
it was, I think we were like 10 grand or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, you go.
So this is that's the red.
Right. That's the red jungle.
The red jungle.
Right.
So my feeling is, I don't know what you think, but my thought is,
I think a lot of things
that
it
was somehow crossed with a coastal at some point, or because jungles and coastals are so close or whatever, that maybe they have a similar thing where red pops out every once in a while, right?
I think that wouldn't be too hard, especially if we're talking about how, like, the jungles in the north are closely related to the coastals in the north and not the jungles in the south. So it's like what Nick said, is that a jungle carpet is just a rainforest variation of a coastal and stuff like that. So like they're on the same kind of link. Right. And it would not be too horrible to think that a red would pop out.
Right. So
a jungle.
So my thought, right, was that and I said this to you guys, and you kind of laughed at me, and you kind of laughed at all my.
I never laugh at your theories.
All my morph ideas.
I take and somehow
everything
they sort of say to heart.
Yeah. Somehow they come to fruition.
I hate that.
I'm really saying that if you bred a citrus tiger, and Eric Hernandez is probably going to punch the screen right now. If you bred a red to a citrus tiger, I would bet money that it would look like that. I would bet it.
If you bred a red coastal to a citrus tiger.
Yes. I think it would look like that. And I think that's probably what Will did to produce that.
But like, look at the fish netting all throughout that thing. That
well, again,
that's insane.
You have the,
doesn't it look like a gamma, like almost like a diamond nuts. Shit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's nuts. I would love to have that snake. I mean,
yeah,
but I just think that, I don't know. That's something that I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try that next season or whatever. What? So my crazy morph brain has to be satisfied sometimes.
Yeah. All you've been doing is watching diamonds breed, and that's lame. Like,
diamonds
time to do something insane. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just geek out more about the whole behavior thing than I do anymore about the whole. I love watching it happen, but then I think about all those babies you have to feed, and I'm just like, man, I have.
Well, I mean, first off, there's going to be
minute of time.
There's going to be anymore. A lot. I will be wholesaling a lot of carpets because there are a shit ton of coastals that need to go, and 62.5% jungle and 37.5% coastals, and like all of that needs to, like, they're because you can tell when they're all together which ones are the normals, which ones are the straight ups, and because they're much darker than anything that's morph related, especially because most of my morph related stuff is either red or caramel, so it's really, or axanthic. It's really obvious with those babies when you sit them next to their siblings which ones are going to be not them. So because I'm limited in space, time, and sanity, I will be wholesaling a lot, and that's something I know there was a question earlier of which is better, having more babies or fewer babies. I feel like you have more options with more babies, but it's not easier. It's not like any better, because I still will probably have to make a bunch of decisions to let certain animals go, and then also I still have kids from last year and the year before. So you kind of got to split the time, and it doesn't really kind of. It gives you have the luxury of being able to wholesale a bunch and kind of get some more money to feed the babies that you're keeping.
Right.
But you still have to feed the ones that you're keeping and clean them. And it's still a lot of time. And it's basically to the point where it's been a while since I've done this, where cleaning and feeding babies is its own separate day of the week.
Yes.
So usually you just do cleaning and feeding throughout the collection. But now it's like cleaning and feeding babies. Because when you're done with doing like 200 babies, you're like, I don't want to see another goddamn snake. So like right now I have about 27. I should have about 20 bins open. Buddy's going to come over tomorrow with an extra 40. So I boost those numbers back up, baby. But then
you need any of those little tubs. Don't forget.
No. Those are for the colubrids. I still have a stack that's about up to my shoulder.
Okay.
That you gave me last time. Well, it's because I did that for I like doing that for the colubrids because all I do is just stack them because I'm not putting them in a rack because the racks are for pythons. You guys don't need heat. Go over here.
Right.
But that can get insane too. So if the corn snake drops 20 eggs on me, it's like shit. So, and then, so like right now I have, and the problem is I keep forgetting that my one Kiger has about 12 eggs that she's maternally incubating because I'm counting all around the room. I'm like, I'm fine.
Oh, she's still going?
Yeah, she still got them.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome. I can't. What the hell have I've broken Owen?
Yeah, so I don't know who I am anymore. Like
he's doing morph crosses and he's maternal incubating. Oh my goodness! God, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, the only one that I'm really doing is the diamond python, which, I was telling you guys today. I don't know. It's like kind of on the fence. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
but
my bread lies on the fence because even though I'm at like my wit's end, somehow I still have bread lie paired. Stop me. For the love of God, somebody stop me from doing this.
We don't even have reptile shows, man. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Malin's like, I might have room on my Hamburg table. I'm like, please. And he's like, I'll talk to you.
I think for me, like going forward, I think my route is going to be a lot of wholesale for like I will have specific things that specific people are looking for, that friends and family type of deals and stuff like that and whatnot, and especially with the IJ stuff, and really that's what it comes. I've said this before, and but just so if there's new people listening or whatever, I kind of moved away from the IJ. I mean, from the IJ stuff, from the morph stuff, because I really wanted to focus on selective breeding of IJs, and that was sort of important. And this will kind of tie into a topic, right? So I was asking Benjamin Diamond, that's what he is on Facebook. I don't know his last name, but anyway,
he doesn't have a last name.
His name is Benjamin Diamond, and he had we were talking to Facebook Messenger or whatever, and he was sort of saying that he was asking me a couple questions or whatever, and I said, oh, that would be a good topic for a show, or to throw it in, and when it's like me and Owen or Carpets and Coffee or whatever. And the one that he asked me was, what do you think? What's your thoughts on the difference between a breeding project or just breeding? And, I sort of had to think about that for a minute, because at first you would think it's kind of the same thing, but I think it kind of would go, to me, a breeding project is that, you sort of have an idea of where you want to go with something, whether it be just normal stuff, morph stuff, locality stuff, whatever it would be. You sort of have this plan to where you're going to go, and you amass a pretty big group of whatever that species or locality or subspecies, whatever, and you sort of see what you can do with it, right? To me, I can give you examples in, again, we keep throwing Eric's name out there, but Eric Hernandez and his red stuff, right?
Somehow it's become an Eric Hernandez show.
Yeah,
weird.
It's in the chat there.
It's fine. Yeah,
you gotta give the guys some props.
You give credit where credit is due.
Killing it with red coastals. I think of let's see who else. You want to step outside of carpets. Look at Matt Minatola with his ocelot. Stuff for his extreme marbles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
you can look at every person has, or every species and every morph and whatnot. You look at somebody like Jay Kabelka and the stuff that he's doing with clown stuff and ball pythons, and look at Nick and what he's done with Bredley. Sorry.
Well, there's always that one guy like, hey, I want a pair of Hog Islands. Who do you go to? You go to this Russo. Guy.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
I want these. All right. You go to this guy. You go to that guy. It's like there's certain things where certain animals lead to, like you said, you have an end goal in mind.
Right.
Even if it's just enhancing the base morph.
Sure.
Breeding is just producing more of what you got. Like I breed corn snakes. I have no fucking idea what morph they are.
You're just breeding them to breed.
That's why I need just snows, because then when people are like, what are they? They're snows. Because then that's it. That's all I care about. I'm not trying to make a better snow corn. Other people are doing that. I'm just trying to produce them. Same thing goes with rhinos. I'm not trying to make a blue rhino. Other people are doing that. But I'm trying to breed caramel carpets. And I have more caramel carpets than I ever thought I could possibly have in... I don't even know how many there are downstairs, but there are many.
You do have a lot of caramels, man.
I don't know anymore. Like I just tried to go through my head. And I'm like, no, I don't know. Like it's,
and I think with some of the rarer stuff, right? Some of the rare species of reptiles.
Who let him here?
What's up, Justin? I think with some of the rare species of reptiles, right? You need a bigger group. You need to be able to sort of, like if one pair isn't doing it, maybe that one isn't mature enough. Maybe it's not ready. Maybe it's
they don't like each other,
stressed out.
Maybe you have two females. Like
so you look at Shane Anderson, right? He just produced Halmahera eggs, right? Which is amazing. Congrats to him. That's awesome. I mean, I remember a couple years ago chatting with him. Maybe it was more than a couple years ago, but chatting with him at Tinley Park, and he was talking about breeding them and whatnot. So I asked him, I talked to him. I said, what do you think? What led you to have success? And he was kind of saying how he sort of had like what Rob had, where he had the cages where they're connected and the male could go when he pleased and whatnot. Maybe you should do that with your Timors, man. Maybe just an idea, just a thought. I don't know. But
I could. They're in the wood cages. I just need a drill. And just there you go. Tunnel.
Make sure you take the snake out before you drill.
Oh yeah, that makes some sense. Well, it's but that's something like, I mean, that's what Keith did. That's what the other thing. So like I paired my Timors in like October,
right?
And I'm definitely let them do their thing. But I do like the idea of having more than just a pair. I think if you have just a pair, it's a breeding project, but you're not working a project. You're not you're not really putting it in there. There's always people that have just a pair of this or a trio of that and be like, I'm trying to breed those. You're not really putting that much effort into it if you just have a pair or a trio.
Yeah. And like, you made a perfect example, right? You're breeding corn snakes and you just breed them because you just, I
need to feed pythons and I need
So if you look at like, if you're going to a show or something like that, especially here in PA, right? A lot of like, people would walk into a Hamburg show or Oak show or whatever, and they'll probably be, even if it's their first snake, they're not necessarily, probably more than likely, they're not going to pick up a carpet python. Mm-hmm. However, they would pick up
a corn snake.
You know what I mean? Something like that, something simple, something that doesn't get too big, something that's easily manageable. You don't have to really go crazy with the care and whatnot, and like you do a more exotic type of snake.
I have one 10 high rack that I can fit colubrids in, that I can even have like my female corn snakes live together all the time.
Right.
And then I just put the male in and he lives in a 32 quart in the other room.
Right.
So when it's breeding season, he goes in there. So I can keep my Cal Kings. I can keep my black rat snakes, things like that. So, but then when they breed, I can take a big pile of assorted colubrids and those will sell immediately to either at a show, to a wholesaler, to somebody that gives me a nice little chunk of change to go buy rodents because I got a bunch of baby pythons I got to feed. Plus also, like you said, it's one of those things that people will definitely come knocking around to come try to get. So and it's something that I can breed without having to put too much effort into it. And if it doesn't breed, it doesn't ruin me for the year.
Right.
It's not like, oh shit, 5 of my carpet females didn't breed. Fuck, what the hell? It's like, the corn snake didn't breed this year. Whatever.
Right.
So,
yeah, I think that would be, I mean, that's kind of a simplified answer, but that would be what I would think would
that's
be the
where I would
difference
draw the
between
line.
the two, So like, and a lot of people will do that, right? They'll, you talk to Bill Stiegel, right? He'll tell you all the time he breeds a lot of ball pythons, but his ball pythons pay for his crazy chondros.
Yeah,
he's got like really high end chondros.
Exactly.
But he talks all the time about how he'll go to reptile shows and he'll be selling a bell ball python, and people will just go and buy it as a pet, and and that would be an example of, to me, like a breeding project. Like, where do you take a white snake? And that's sort of like why I think white snakes get kind of poo-pooed from a breeding standpoint, right? Once you get that white snake, where do you go with it? What do you do with it? You can't. It's like there's no more to go with.
That's
you
that's
can't put a stripe on it. You can't do anything with the pattern.
Could you imagine if the super jag was actually a viable thing?
Oh, that would have been dead a long time ago.
But there's white jag. There'd be all white carpet pythons everywhere. They would be easy as hell to make.
Yeah,
and there would be a ton of them. No one would care. See, the first 1 or 2 people would lose their fucking minds for. But like, also, it's not a super zebra. So like, I think there should be more done with a super zebra. You can enhance that yellow. You can make that yellow.
You think so?
Yes. Come on.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay.
Some of the neon yellows I see on jungles, you can't make a snake that's
all
that yellow.
Though,
I think you can.
Travis, if you're listening, you're probably going to tell me I'm an idiot and message me in a couple days and tell me exactly.
No,
that.
Travis,
but I would think, right?
Travis, send him a box of spices. Then
Justin's
he'll know.
Chat, maybe he would be able to agree or disagree, right?
Yeah,
yeah, he'll know. But like,
this is what we did,
right? The
so
problem
on the
with
trip, it's like, Justin's a doctor. He can perform surgery. He's not that kind of doctor, Owen.
Yeah, I know, right? So like, if I was going to try to breed a neon yellow snake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a patternless super zebra, neon yellow, all that kind of stuff. I think what I would do is I would try to find a jungle carpet with the most reduced black you could possibly have. Because my feeling is like, it's kind of like when you mix it together, right? You mix the yellow and the black, and
so
it kind of
because it's all blended.
Yes,
it gets muddier yellow.
I know that sounds.
That's
dumb.
not how it works. They're not.
I'm telling you.
It's just...
I'm telling. Oh, Justin missed it. Let me repeat it. Justin,
sorry.
do you think?
God damn it, Justin, pay attention.
He does a lot of mouth surgery. Oh, okay. Doctor.
I'm pretty much just a large mouse. Yeah, it's fine.
My thought is that the reason that super zebras kind of muddy out, if you will, is because you're kind of blending the yellow and the black into, like, it's kind of like, so if you look at that snake, like, look at its head, it's still got the black head stamped and it's just like faded. Do you ever see a super zebra, Owen?
Yes, I've seen a super zebra.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Because you're talking about something and you never saw it.
Yes, I know. You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I have seen a super zebra. Okay. I do know they exist.
Okay,
and I've seen them in person.
2.
That's your second one. That's your second one. You only get.
I get 3 strikes.
3. You only get 3, and then I quit the podcast forever. So, but no, I would agree that you do see some semblance of a pattern. But I think you can get that. You can intensify that yellow.
I'm sure. Yeah, I guess
because
you could over time.
Zebras.
Yeah.
The yellow on the first zebras, that was black on mud. Like, but that's what they look like.
Isn't mixing with the.
I understand, but you could still enhance the
yellow.
Work like
that.
It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You can just swirl it around and be like, there you go. Yay.
Justin's
if I take
his head against the wall. How did these idiots get a podcast?
Justin, if I pick up my egg box and shake it really hard, will that give me different colored snakes?
No.
Not
that at all.
Right. Too far. If I draw on the eggs with a colored marker, will the snake absorb it?
Oh, I think this should be an episode of Fight Club.
No, we can't. Like,
this should be Fight Club.
Yeah, there's some podcast networks that I listen to.
Yes,
that, like for special things, they have the hosts switch shows. like so this host that like does like a cooking one goes over here and
that's
like, does
a
this.
good idea.
So I mean, we can just steal Fight Club for a day and just scream at each other,
right?
Which is pretty much what we do here.
Justin and Chuck could come over and do the NPR.
Yeah, and actually doing an interview, like which is as intelligent hosts.
Yeah.
And speaking to intelligent guests. Yeah.
We've come a long way in 10 years.
God,
man.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, Super Zebra. Patternless, crazy yellow. I don't know why haven't Fight? Why haven't we seen it?
I think you could.
I mean, dude, you see crazy zebras, you see crazy jungles, but you don't see crazy super zebras.
Well, I think everybody got so scared off of super zebras because of their tail problems.
Do you really? I mean,
yes.
Dude, come on.
Yes.
Wait, hold the phone. All right, Justin, I'm taking the gloves off right now. You can see
we're going to fight now. Are we fighting?
Why the hell would a morph breeder be worried about a tail tip when they're looking at their snakes flipped upside down in a tub? What?
I have nothing.
They draw the line at the kink in the tail.
Listen, like,
oh my God, it has a pigtail.
But I mean, how many
that one over there is turned upside down.
That one's on its head.
That one's good because it's pretty yellow.
I love that. It's but I'll admit it. Here's the thing: is that with the amount of people that work with jungles, why the hell don't we see more super zebras produced?
Because nobody wants to do it because they know that they can't make a neon yellow snake.
You could if you tried. No one tried.
Oh my god!
Just like how I'm pretty sure if you bred enough jaguars, you can cure the Nero.
Oh my god!
And produce a living loose.
Just said that.
And produce a living loose
that out.
Yeah.
Oh,
just gonna bleep it. It's just gonna be. It's gonna be a bleep, a little thing that says.
Editing.
Owen said something extremely stupid, so I had to edit it.
56:37. I am editing this part out because I cannot be.
I can't do it. I can't. Yeah.
56. Let me write it down. 37.
I'm gonna start sneaking that into I'm gonna start sneaking that into any podcast that I record. So, like in part of Caliber Corner
for the holiday show.
Like I said, the next episode of Caliber Corner will be like, and you know what, Riley? I think that you could breed out the Nero and a Jag just so you have something to look for and edit when you're editing things.
Right.
Keep you busy. I'm a friend. I'm helping you.
Yeah, like I need more to edit. Thanks, buddy. We're gonna have a class this summer on how to edit podcasts. No. Because if I die, this whole thing is just.
I'm just saying, my reign as Podfather would be very different.
Yeah, Christian said yes. Let's be fair.
All right.
I want to make sure that we are fair.
Yeah. Right? Go on. Prove me right.
Striking Pythons did produce a crazy yellow super zebra, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what does it look like now?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Stop using my own arguments against me. I do not appreciate being on the other end of this where you're like, it was cool. What's it look like now? Like, I don't like that.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel good.
Yes, exactly.
It's logical. I can't argue with it, but I hate it.
So now that you've listened to our segment on what's the difference between a breeding project and just breeding.
How the hell did we get off of that?
I don't know, but dude, I am so freaking pumped. Well, first of all, I'm sort of upset a little bit that you're not going, but it is what it is.
What needs to happen is someone needs to put a cardboard cutout of me in the back so you can just at least, like a security blanket.
Yes. Yeah. So, we're going to be herping West Texas. This is sort of like, I was talking to Rob today about it and we were chatting back and forth and he made me think about this and I was like, this is exactly right. So the first time we went to Australia, we kind of did dumb shit. Like it didn't make any sense, and it was kind of like, because we never went there,
Right.
and everybody, you remember at Carpet Fest, like me and Rob wanted to punch a wall because everybody's like, we kept saying things like, okay, well, where's the best place to find a carpet python? And they'll be like, oh, if you just go to anywhere on the East Coast, you'll find one. Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Anywhere, anywhere you say.
Yeah. Thanks. So
is Justin going with you to West Texas?
He is. Yes,
I hate Justin now. I hate Justin a little bit more now.
Dude, I am so burnt out. You do not know how bad I need this trip, man.
Dude, this hurts. I really want to go. Like, this really hurts.
So, and you know that Justin and Phil from the Herpetological podcast is coming too, right? Herpetoculture podcast.
God damn it.
Yeah, so they're going too. So
and it also doesn't help that Justin comes out of Justin comes off an insane trip with Keith where they were tripping over things. Like they got everything.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, but it is what it is. If we find snakes, I'm sure we'll find snakes.
Yeah.
Which one? Well, both Justins are going. Yes, both Justins are going. So we got Justin, and what we will call him is Schmitty. So we got Justin.
You will have to wear name tags because we're not going to be able to tell anybody apart. Yeah.
Yes. So
who are you
we're
again,
going out to West
Justin.
Texas, but now that we have a lay of the land, a feel of the way things go, and where to go and what it's like, and blah blah blah. So, dude, I can't wait. I can't wait, man. I freaking can't wait. I don't care if we find a single goddamn snake.
No, because listen, I'm not there, so you're gonna be tripping over them. You're gonna find so many gray bands. Rob's gonna be like, I don't know, I can't fit that many more in my hand.
Yeah,
you're gonna find the most beautiful rock rattlesnake.
I'm probably gonna butcher this because I can't. I always screw this up, and shame on me. I should know my U.S. colubrids, but we found a gopher snake, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Dude, that snake was fucking awesome.
It almost came home with me.
That was
the fact that you left with Justin and Rob and I were there, and Rob's like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "I can't. It's too pretty. It's where it should be. It has a big meal in its stomach, which means it's doing all right." And he's like, "Yeah." And we just let it go. But it was this fucking close to coming home with me.
You know what? You know what my favorite snake of that trip was?
I am not the bad luck charm. No.
Yeah, we found an Owen Pelly.
Shut up, you. If they had done that without me, I would have agreed. But
I really love the night snake that we found.
Yeah, that was really pretty.
I love that snake. I don't even know if they're in captivity. I don't know if people breed them.
I saw them on King Snake a couple months ago, but they're so tiny. It's like, why would you do that to yourself? So,
yeah, I can't wait to get back out there, man. I can't wait. So we're not doing, so we were talking about it, right? We drove so much. We basically drove from Colorado to Texas.
That is what we did. That is exactly what we did. Yeah.
Whereas with this, we'll be going more because we're just landing straight in Texas. If we find some indigos, we're going to be in that area.
No.
Dude, I mean.
No.
And of course.
No. If you find an indigo, don't even tell me. Don't even fucking tell me. Just don't even put pictures of it. This has to be something that cannot get out of the group. Under penalty of death, Owen cannot know that you guys found indigos. As you were stepping off the plane, Eric tripped on one. No.
Justin loved the earless lizard. Yeah, I remember that was that one that was on the rock that was all colorful and beautiful, right? Wasn't it?
That was the one that Justin nearly fell off a cliff to look at, right?
No, I thought that was the alligator lizard.
I don't know.
Alligator skink was that one. Yeah, I know. We didn't drive.
No, we didn't drive.
Did you say we drove?
Yeah, I didn't say we drove. You were the one who was talking. I was just sitting here. It is.
Yeah. I said it. Sorry. Yeah. Take that back.
I did nothing. Yeah. I am the plucky comic relief at all times. I don't plan this shit. I don't drive. I'm just there.
He just shows up and tells us Simpson quotes.
Use Simpsons quotes until someone tells me to shut up.
Yes.
No. Yeah.
I don't know if night snakes eat spiders. I really don't know anything about night snakes. I just know that we found this night snake and it was on this little shrub, and we were just watching it for forever. I love that snake, man. That was such a cool snake. I don't know what it was. And of course, Justin's going with us, and Yeah,
The
was off the
whiptail was
cliff.
off the cliff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I
Well,
think
and
it was that
Justin
one that
found-
was on the rock, Justin,
Yeah.
right? When we were walking during the day, and it was just you guys were like looking at it for seemed like about 30 minutes or so.
What is it? Justin also found that patch nose.
Yeah. Up, we're going back to that place. That's rattlesnake habitat.
Dude, like in the book, like if they took a picture of it and put it in a book, you'd be like, "That's where the rattlesnake should be."
Yeah. So I'm crazy excited about that. Yeah,
I'm unhappy.
I need this trip so bad, man.
I hate you.
I can't tell you.
It's fine. I'll do my own herping trip. Go on.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna do a herping trip with Rob
in July.
It's in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and then Arizona is in October, right? Or Utah or whatever the hell that is.
Yeah.
One of them. They're pretty
Speaking
much
of which, you were good for that, right?
I'm good for that. Yeah, October. Okay. Yeah, I'm good for that.
Me and Rob weren't sure. I'm like, is he going?
I told you. I
think that's the one he's going to.
I got approval for those. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Arizona, dude, I get to use that Arizona Snakes of Arizona book. Holy shit.
What, to like whack the Gila monster with?
Yes.
I mean, like that's okay. Yes.
I think, so I was thinking about this, right? And I was like, I'm really kind of like, as far as US snakes go, right?
Yeah.
I think besides rattlesnakes, I think the things that I'm attracted to the most is rat snakes, right? And I'm trying to think like, why rat snakes? And I'm like, duh.
Someone's been whispering bears in your ear for the past like year. Oh no.
No. I mean, they're cool snakes. Don't get me wrong, but I think like rat snakes overall, right? And I think the reason is because there are carpet python, right? There are version of carpet pythons, and you think about it,
pretty much, yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is what I like. This is why I like. There's just varieties of, I mean, they're just cool, man. My goal as a U.S. herper is to take a picture
for every
species or like the famous localities, and I'm like trying to research it now because I absolutely know jack shit about rat snakes except like corn snakes.
I actually
rats that are up by us and stuff like that.
I have 2 rat snakes.
Do you?
Yeah, I have 2 black rat snakes.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're white-sided black rat snakes.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
There's a lot of shit here that you don't know.
Yeah. Or did you breed them?
Not yet. Next year.
Are you gonna put it in your book? The rat snakes? Yeah. It will probably be a comparison.
It'll be a pop-up book. So as like Eric is doing all the other books of the comparison of the rat snakes, my book will just be a pop-up book of me sitting at my desk and crying because I didn't get to go.
Yeah. I found so far I've seen 2 rattlesnakes in the wild, 2 species. So there's a long list of those to go. So I got a chop on those.
I have more rattlesnakes than you do.
Yes, you do.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But and that's the other points, Scott just brought it up in the chat, right? Rat snakes are also semi-arboreal.
Yep.
They're around where people are at. I mean, dude, they are exactly the American version of a carpet python.
I usually they
fill the same niche.
I usually get one in my yard every summer, whether it's like this 6-foot one, a little baby one, or a little or like a mid-size. Like it varies, but I usually get one black rat snake in my yard a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you breed like your locality rat snakes?
PA is weird about that kind of shit. It's like when I put in for my license and I said, "Hey, I got black rat snakes." They're like, "What kind?" I'm like, "They're white-sided, head albino." Oh, okay. Like, okay, all right. Like, whoa, now. So, yeah.
The Poconos.
Plus, I don't think there's going to be a huge line for
black rat snakes.
Birdsboro, Pennsylvania, black rat snakes. I mean,
well. The advantage that if I ever got out of pythons, if I ever decided you guys
are going to go to Texas and I have to go herping with Buddy. Like I'm not sure if I'm okay with that.
It's all right. Go hang out with Robert. He'll show you some herping spots and stuff.
Right,
anyway, if I ever got out of pythons, which I doubt that or carpet pythons or whatever, you know how people sometimes they just get out of it and then they come back into it. I think I would go rat snakes. Yeah, I think that's where I would go. I would go North American rat snakes. That's what I would do.
I mean, you could turn off all the you can sell all your thermostats. Congratulations, it's northeast temperatures. Like,
yeah,
you guys will be fine. Bye. And then winter, you'll be like, here's your water. I'll see you in 2 months. Like, yeah, it's so. I mean, rat snakes would be cool. I mean, especially
I'm not saying I'm selling car. I don't ever.
I mean, if you're selling your pythons, I'll be there with a bin.
Yeah,
and I'll just go. It's going to be like what is it? One of those grocery games where you're going to say go, and I have to put everything in.
E.B. Morelia sweep
and go, and I just run through and start pouring shit into bins. Yeah. So don't worry, I know where everything is.
I think on this trip for me too, the other thing is that I will be more excited about lizards, right? Because of having the monitor and the skink and whatnot. I think this time I'll be more in focused with that, you know. And I was listening to the Herp podcast guys had on the other night. They were talking about the Trans-Pecos. I forget the guy's name. Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah,
they were talking about the Trans-Pecos. He's the guy that wrote the book, The Complete Selbach, and he was talking about how they're in caves and stuff. Yeah, no, that's a cool book, right?
I love it.
And how come you don't have those? I'm surprised. Trans-Pecos.
They were on my list. They still are on my list. But like, dude, again, we go. Not all of us are Graham. Like, did you see the pictures of him setting up his fucking airplane hangar? Like with all the uniform freaking racks, like beautiful in a line. I'm just like, oh my God. Like, not all of us can be him. Like, we can't have all those bins. But you know, if I could, I would. They're gorgeous animals.
Yeah.
But you said like what? They're in caves, they're in kind of
I didn't finish the episode yet. I'm sort of like, I still got another like maybe 30-40 minutes or so. But they were talking about how they were in caves and they're eating bats and like just really and same with the well, not so much. Well, they were kind of going back and forth. They were talking about the Trans-Pecos and they were also talking about the bears. And like, you know, I think the bears was you know, basically like one they were like kind of focused on because obviously Justin loves, you know, his bears, rats.
I mean, it's one of those
and how
things.
Come you don't have those either? I'm surprised. Bears? Are they on the list?
They are, especially because I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I think that was brought up in the one episode when you weren't here. And I'm like, I don't know. Justin doesn't talk to me about bears. And then like that night, he's like, you should get bears. So I'm like, okay. Then I guess I will. Like, no, it's,
you should, if you want to earn somebody, Justin, you got to talk to my co-host. He definitely
I'm weak when it comes to colubrids. It's
especially rat snakes.
I mean, yeah. Well, I was talking about getting rid of my pine snakes this year, because I couldn't get them to cycle and I couldn't get him to breed. And then I sent one of my adult bredli out on breed loan. So I had a 4-foot cage open. So I chucked my pine snake in there and it's eating like a hog and it's going nuts and it's gaining weight. I'm like, all right, maybe we'll hold off on selling the pine snakes. So I still got colubrid projects and I'm trying to figure out here. Don't add more right now. Yeah. I got to get the Crebo figured out before I can start adding a bunch of other shit. But
yeah, man, green rats. I didn't even know there was such a thing as green rats when I was looking today. I'm like, what the hell? Green rats? What the hell's this? Yeah, there's a lot of snakes I don't know about in the US. You know, pythons I know a lot about, you know, I'm not, you know, I still got a lot to learn, but it's like, it's weird. Like when you focus on one thing in the hobby for so long, you sort of get like stuck in that box.
You get tunnel vision.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how boa shit is inherited.
Speaking of boas, holy shit,
my
the stuff that Warren was showing in the chat.
Oh my God.
Damn. Man, his stuff is insane. That's another thing. I'm like, why don't I love boas? And everybody's like, because they're not from Australia.
On my list. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. Like Argentines are on my list. When the fuck am I going to set up and do Argentines?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Well, the problem is, I'm like,
sounds like we need a big facility or something.
Well, and it's again, it's one of those things where it sounds like we need a serpentarium of some kind. But it's like I'm sitting here and I'm like, you know what? I could probably do Argentines. I could probably do New Timor pythons, and then I just shit like. So that happens a lot here. It's where I'm like, I should really focus here. I could really get
so
involved
hard,
in a
man.
new project. Well, I'm sitting here right now and I'm like, I got a bunch of bins open. Then I'm like, wait, no, Riley's sending all his Mad Hogs. I have nothing open. I need more bins. Like
I have been holding all. The last snake I bought was I guess it was probably the rough scale from Nick, right?
Yeah. Yep.
To complete that project. Before that, it was the Western Stems from Justin, right?
Right.
And I mean, I've been tempted by many snakes and many things, and like I've been pretty good, because usually I'm just like,
I'm doing all the unboxing videos.
It's like,
what the fuck, dude? Yeah. Oh no, there's snake. Like, what was it? It's New Snake Tuesday, dude. I hate you. Like, it's
yeah.
Why does it need to be New Snake Tuesday?
I'm waiting for Justin to produce a certain locality of carpet python, and that's my next hope.
Imbricata.
No, they're not imbricata.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Get Chondros Owen. Do you have a head injury?
Owen hates chondros.
Chondros hate Owen. There is there's a hatred. You keep your ball python on a stick.
Speaking of chondros, here's a good segue into this. Daniel Natusch put out a new paper, right? And
they're all the same now, or is it still?
No.
Okay, good. I'm like, is he about to be lynched again? Like
I didn't read the paper. First, I'll say this. Oh my God, my sister's in the chat. Holy shit.
Your family is invaded before mine.
Yes. Well, my sister's like a reptile person now.
It counts.
Which is crazy, right? I was saying to her the other day, like usually like with my sisters, I'm talking about like some other person in the family and what bullshit they've been doing or whatever. Right. And like now my sister, it's like I actually can talk to her about reptiles and plants. And she's like, to the she is like, I'm trying to think of somebody that can identify. Maybe I guess she would be like with how I am with carpet pythons, like, oh, that's this or that's that or whatever. She does that with plants, and I'm like,
okay, so like when we were in the outback, and I'm like, Keith, it's a bird, and he's like, yes. Oh, and that is a black cockatoo. Yes. I'm like, like it's like that. I don't know what it is. The bird
would be our good friend Rob, right? Hey Rob, what is this? Oh yeah, that's a
the scientific, and he says the Latin. He talks about how it was first discovered, what it likes to eat and do on a Tuesday, and it's like, oh, I just asked you what it was, but cool, thank you. Right. So yeah,
that's how she is with plants.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, so yeah, that's cool. What's up,
good.
Kyle?
She can help us in the serpentarium with like getting good plants.
Well, I know I sort of like totally derailed this. So I was talking to her the other day, and I was like, a good idea for a reptile shop would be this, right? This is the perfect idea for a reptile shop. Not only do you produce the reptiles and have top quality reptiles and all that, right? Of course, that's key, right?
Yeah, it usually is in that, yeah.
Right. Okay. So then you have like enclosures, right? That you design and build and whatnot, and specifically made for those specific species, right?
Right.
So you can do like naturalistic setups.
You can print the shit. You can make the
100%.
You can put the epoxy stuff, the zoopoxy. Yeah.
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 And then you have that, right? But the key to it all, to tie it all in, is that you have somebody doing plants, so that if you want to keep bioactive, right, you have somebody that you can go and have that part of it. And then you do feeders, right? So you have like, it's like an all-in-one stop shop, and then promoting good captive care, right? And you can, and then you have somebody that has some artistic flair, right? You could have them be in the shop, and you could say, okay, I have this corn snake. I want the setup to look like, whatever. I want it to look like the Florida Everglades, right?
And you
have somebody that's super artistic, and they go and you talk to the plant person, and they say, okay, these plants will work in this kind of setup, and they put it together, and you just take that whole
thing, and then you got a nice little piece of nature.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you have a back corner where they have a big chair, and you just sit Papa Burke there, and he can just start talking about reptile stories from days of old. and it completes the whole shop.
The other thing she loves is roly polies too. So she's like, dude, I'm telling you, it's crazy. And my dad's like, I showed you all his like enclosures, and it's crazy when he doesn't like pay attention to, he doesn't know, like,
are they eating and are they fine? Sweet. Like that's
yeah. Anyway, but plants are a whole nother thing, man. I opened up that Pandora's box, and holy hell, man, you just go down this rabbit hole of like, it's just like everything, man.
There's levels on everything, and I've had friends that do like pitcher plants and other stuff like that. I have one friend who's totally into plants, and he tells me that plants are just as bad as reptiles, where like people will offer people, like somebody has a plant and people are like, I will give you $1,000 for a leaf clipping. And it's like, what the hell? Like
it's crazy. Like, so there's these, she's going to punch me because I'm going to say they're basically like Australians pothos, right? And they're these like, I think they're called blue agave, some kind of blue pothos. Right. And like, they're so expensive and you can't get them anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. And I guess because I don't know if it's because of like COVID and everybody was stuck in, so they wanted to have nature in their house or whatever, but like, or maybe it's been that way forever, but
yeah, I think it's been that way, but it's exacerbated. It's like, I think there are, dude, like I think the two people at the reptile show that sell out quick enough are the guy who does the rodents and the guy who does the plants, because people will come and they'll 100%. Buy the plants for enclosures, or they'll just buy the plants because they like the fucking plants. So yeah, it's
dude. Like we
should do plants and rodents.
Yes.
Why are we doing this
for? I don't know.
That's the name of the business. Is what it says in the sign. Plants and fucking rodents. Like
yeah. So anyway, my sister's real good with plants, and she is the green thumb like my dad does. My dad can like grow anything. Like dude, I don't even know how he knows this shit. Like, how do you know this? Do you
read him these things?
He's like, I just know.
I just know them. What? What?
Like, what do you mean you just know?
Why
how did I not get this gene? Like, he's like, you just know if you start to do this, you do that. And I'm just like, God damn it, Dad.
In the past, when, your dad's probably like, come here, I'll show you about plants. You're like, nah, I just want to play my guitar as you toss your hair. Like,
yeah. He did that too.
Apparently, you just suck. Like,
Well, I am better at the guitar than he is, that's for sure. Yeah, so I can say that with confidence. That's
it's all right. My dad does don't you know this, Owen? And I go, no, my father never taught me these things, you jackass. So
I think this year I'm gonna have to bring on Papa Burke onto the NPR holiday show. I'm gonna
because I want to hear how he's like, and then you'd have to go to the pet store. You had a special knock on the back door, and that's when they slid open the thing and they said you can come in, and then you came out, and that's where you saw like the fleur de lance. It's like,
dude, it's so true. I'm telling you, as a kid, I remember that like so vividly. Like, we would walk into the pet shop and you'd walk to the back and he'd just do like the tap, tap, tap. And it'd be like, Mr. Burke,
what is the password?
What is the password? Yeah.
New England clam chowder.
Yeah, like, okay, come in.
And then
you walk into this room and all you hear is rattlesnakes rattling, cobras are hooded, and mambas are all over the
mambas are mambaing. Yeah. So it's
nuts.
Anyway, welcome to Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the chondro paper. So
wow.
I know. Like, oh my God, we're all over the place. Well, that's why it's a you and me show. You know what I mean? What are we gonna do? So anyway, Daniel Natusch put out a paper, and he's like, and I never thought about this before in the way that he sort of put it, but he's talking about why is there red and yellow phase chondros? So for people I don't know. That you get a red phase, you get a yellow phase, depending on where they're from. Some have red and yellow, some have just yellow, right? But why? What is the advantage
of being red or yellow
of having different colors?
Right. You think about like if all the babies, if there was camouflage, you'd think eventually you'd weed
all
out
be the same, right?
Right. You'd have. Well, all right. Now we've taken animals from the wild, like two animals from the wild from one place, and bred them, and they've had red and yellow babies, right? It's not like ones from this place have all red babies and one from this place have all yellow babies. And because we didn't care for a while, hold on, I'm not done yet. And because we didn't care for a while, we just kind of threw things together. And
Justin, my heart hurts, Justin.
Red and yellow babies. Like, that's not what happened, right? Right? No? Okay.
I didn't even listen to you. I shut you out after you said the first 3 words. I said, I can't listen.
Like, it's not like
say it again. Run it. Go ahead.
No. It's not like certain localities just have red babies and certain localities just have yellow babies.
See, this is where you lost me again.
No, why are you like, come on?
Yes, certain localities have red and yellow, and other localities have yellow.
Just have yellow. Come on. Okay, but now is it? No, forget him.
School your boy.
No, forget him. I've taught him everything he knows. So is it because we kind of mix shit all together that we have clutches? All right, that's all I wanted to know.
No,
you're right. It doesn't make fucking sense. Thank you all for taking that journey with me, and I apologize profusely to chondro people.
So everything that would be viridis, right? Everything that would be now it's I'm not even sure what the subspecies and species are at this point. To be honest with you, I'm not that involved in chondros. But basically, it used to be when you had the northerns and the southerns, and they were split by the dividing range, not the dividing range, the mountains range in the middle of Papua.
Great dividing range in Papua. No,
everything to the north they would produce red and so a biak could produce red and could produce yellow, right?
Okay,
and like an aru or everything in Australia produces only yellow.
Okay. So what is the advantage of being a red baby aside from color and the fact that those are the ones that look the prettiest when they change?
Well, I think they look the prettiest when they change because they're hybrids, but that's just me.
Oh my God,
I really do. I think why you get those crazy colors from certain chondro crossings, and like when you breed a biak to an aru, why they look crazy is because you're basically breeding a chondro and a carpet. Yeah. There's silence on the other end of the mic.
I mean, I don't know what this time.
That's where you.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. So, but there has to be some kind of advantage to being red as a baby.
Maybe it has to do with the plant's life that they're in.
Or they hide if they're not going to be. If maybe it's easier for them to hide in certain areas than it would be for a yellow. But I don't know.
I don't know what the advantage would be. Maybe the red. I don't know why people don't love yellow chondros, man.
I love yellow chondros. I love yellow adult chondros. Like the chondros that are more yellow than with like a little bit of green. That's right in my wheelhouse. Was the
the yellow chondros?
Was like lemon tree or whatever the hell that thing was called.
Yes, lemon tree is. Yep.
Oh my God, I got one right. Oh my God, wow.
You got 1 point back for your chondro card.
That's nice.
Yeah, Justin brings up a good comment. He says he thinks it's wavelengths and color other animals can or can't see. But yeah, maybe it's a predator that's in that area. Maybe I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't read close. Like yet. It's red, orange, yellow is right around the same kind of wavelength.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trust me. I went. Yeah.
I'm going to trust you, man.
No, you should. Yeah. I speak nothing but truth. Anyway, so but no, that makes some sense. But
I guess it would have helped if I read the paper before I talked about
it.
Yeah,
we should probably do that first.
I did. I just thought it was. I heard actually Daniel was on. He was on another podcast, and it was a South African guy, and his podcast is more based on like hunting and like conservation and why it's important to sort of manage certain populations of animals and how like the whole debate of like if you're hunting an animal, how you're also conserving it. That whole thing.
That whole song and dance. Yeah,
that can open up a whole can of worms.
Oh, there's a lot of things that could be argued when it comes to that one, but there's also the plus and minuses on both arguments. It's one of those unwinnable arguments because it's So,
but he was on there and he was talking like he was sort of defending
the idea of that, you know, like there, you say it's like animal trade. Basically, I think Daniel does a lot of work with you know, where they use the skins of reptiles and stuff.
Right.
You know, basically his job is just to sort of look at the data and see if it you know, if they can keep doing it, and are they, you know, is it ultimately going to hurt the population of animals, or is it going to help the population of animals? And you know, it was an interesting podcast. I'll have to
well, it all goes. It all goes to the same thing. It's like, you know, if it's done responsibly and you only take like the fully adult animals and like mainly males or females when they're not carrying eggs and stuff, that you preserve the future population, you're also allowing genetic diversity, because then you take out that big male who owned this one big territory. So now another male can rise up in his place and breed with all the females. So it's right. The basic rule of kind of controlling a population of animals. It's what a lot of fish and wildlife stuff do with things in America. It's why they have certain seasons. It's why they'll cut off a season. It's why they'll limit what you can and can't take and how, and certain things like that. So it's all conservation.
Right. So there was a couple, I'm just going to say these out, but there was a couple of comments from Scott Francis, and you know, Scott said reds blend with the green foliage is why white-tailed deer have like a reddish summer coat, right? Okay. Okay, that makes sense, you know. Yeah. And then Francis said that reds produce darker animals, and I think that helps with absorbing heat. So, but my question is, then why wouldn't they all be red? Which I think is what.
Why wouldn't they be black? I mean,
well, you know, like I think that's sort of the question of the paper. Like, so all those things make sense, but why do you have red and yellow? Like, why yellow too? You know?
It would have to be a camouflage thing, because if it's not something that helps them generate more heat or survive, other than just the color, like just blending in, even if they stood out like a sore thumb, there'd be no red babies, because all the animals that would have carried a gene to have red babies would have been wiped out.
Right.
So it has to be for blending, and it has to work just as well as the yellow. Otherwise, there would be no red babies.
Right. Yeah. You know, another crazy thing was they were talking, this was on the Herpetoculture network. They were, when it was Dusty Rhodes. I think it was some kind of Australian venomous snake was eating grapes.
What?
Yeah, you got to listen to dude. This show is awesome. It was great.
Grapes?
It was really, yeah. They had a video of it eating grapes, and like, you know, like I guess I don't know if that's the first time that a snake's been seen eating.
Did it think it was like an egg? I mean, like, was it confused about?
So shit? I think Dusty said something about they thought maybe because they were trying to get hydrated, you know, like maybe that was the reason why, you know.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense, you know. And Australia is pretty brutal when it comes to climate, as we know.
Did you know that false water cobra and Chinese king rats will eat your slug woma eggs after you're finished crying over them?
Yeah, I would think
that will happen. So
you slugged out on the womas.
Oh
again,
my God!
What do you think it is? Just
I think the male's not shooting. I think he's a dud. So because there's no way she ovulates and produces eggs 3 times now, and him not getting her. So because there was lock after lock after lock.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think. Yeah, man. I think that's sort of what like fascinates me at the moment with snakes, is just that whole thing. Like, you know, Ish had said that he think it has to do with hydration, which makes sense. But I think that the stuff that we don't know is there's just so much stuff we don't know.
And it outweighs what we do know. I mean,
yeah.
Otherwise, we'd all be breeding Bolin's pythons, and there would be nothing that. See, you're well on your way to. You're leaving the. Like, first off, I was in the Owen phase of my herpetoculture career. I'm now entered the Eric phase, where I have all these weird mutations.
Riley's here. What's up, Riley?
I don't know what's going on. Riley. Yeah. And then as I'm entering this, you're entering what's called the Keith McPeak phase.
Correct.
Where you're going to get rid of a bunch of stuff. You're going to keep the animals that you really love, and you're just going to watch them.
Yes.
Like, so I have a couple more years in the Eric Burke phase before I like.
This is true.
Sell all my carpets and get indigos.
I guess I'm in the twilight phase of my.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
Riley's now entering the Owen phase where he has a bunch of shit he doesn't know what he's doing with, and he's combining animals and projects, and he's like, and that's
Riley's at that tough point where you want everything and you don't have enough space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. The Chondro man himself. You talk chondros and Andy shows up. So Andy Middleton says he read the paper.
Okay.
And I'm assuming, and it says basically the paper says they did not find any difference in survival rates to adulthoods between red and yellows, nor any size difference, and the sexes being more specific.
So it's meaningless. Whether it's a red baby or yellow baby, same number of chances. It is,
I suppose,
meaningless.
You know, I'm curious of why Morelia in general seem to have red babies when you go up and not when you go down. So like the further north you go. Yeah. You know, like Darwin's have red babies, Papuans have red babies. I bet you Cape York's probably red
Coastals
babies.
have red babies, but not all the coastals have red babies.
Yeah, not all
and
of
then
them.
Not all the coastals are red. So is that where the chain comes in? Is there something hiding? Like, is there something more?
If only this question was answered in a book.
I know, right? Only we knew somebody who does books. So, I mean, is there some sort of advantage to being a red carpet python in those areas to blending in to survive?
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah. My thought would be like, so remember how when we were looking at the Darwin, how we were talking about the babies would come down on that lower level of the you know, of the what would it be, the shrub line or whatever. I don't know what you would call it, but maybe it has something to do with them blending into that, you know,
whatever that they can be on. And then like, is the red that is thrown in a coastal just left over from splitting off from the other ones?
But don't you find it weird that like most scrub pythons are born red?
Yep.
Except for like Halmaharas. I don't know. Are Malucans born red? I can't remember. They're red.
Yeah.
Tannenbars, I think they're born red.
I don't know. I've never hatched tans. Or had really, really fresh baby tans.
Yeah. I can't remember. Mine were Xandic, so I don't know. But
yeah. I don't know. So, but it's interesting. We should write a paper. Research. Oh no, we have to go back to Australia for research.
Oh
damn it.
Maybe we can get a grant to take us there.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh man, I would
my job immediately.
I would spend months watching snakes in the bush. Shit. So yeah, Riley, we talked about
Riley, we did stuff. Yeah.
How happy we are that you produced the albino citrus tiger, and we promoted your YouTube channel, so people should go see Riley Jimison on Riley's Reptiles and check out the video vlog that he just did on hatching out that albino citrus tiger, or possibly caramel albino citrus tiger.
True. You should also go on his page and demand as many Apodora pictures as possible. So.
We want a headshot from from the side,
all sides. I want glamour shots of each Apodora.
Front side, belly side.
Because again,
I want you to have a clear table and see the
Well, because again,
from underneath.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. Do it. Yeah, I mean, because that was the other problem. Like, you know what? I have some open cages. I could probably get some Apodora. Oh, Timor pythons, and then again, I just went that way. So I have to live vicariously through Riley for a couple more years.
Yeah. The Apodora. The Apodora. Yeah, that's
he always has one in his hands. It's like a 50-50 shot. He's holding an Apodora.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know. What else did I have on the deck? So I will say this, just so everybody knows, Justin was in the chat earlier, but if you didn't know, probably there's sort of one more in the works, but I don't know when that's going to come together. So me and Lucas this is going to be the final podcast of the NPR network.
Oh my God.
Yes, this is it. I cannot do any more. I am stretched as thin as it goes. But we're going to be working on a podcast that focuses on strictly topics for beginners of people coming in to keeping snakes. So like just the simple stuff. It's going to be real quick episodes for people that, those questions that that people have. And it's going to focus just on general snakes. And obviously we'll cover different species and all the gamut of stuff. Heating, lighting, caging, feeding, talk about shedding, all those things, like what happens when, maybe some medical
what to do when
problems
this happens,
and, all that kind of stuff.
What to do when this happens,
right?
Call a vet.
We'll talk about, how to buy a snake,
Call a vet.
where to go to look for, how to find a breeder,
Yep.
what is the proper etiquette to buying a snake.
Yeah.
No noodles. Yeah.
Just text, don't just message the breeder here, zip code with $, question mark.
Yeah.
Like they don't appreciate that.
I find that like a lot of our podcasts are geared towards, more
people who are already in it,
either intermediate or more advanced, to where people that don't know, they're coming into something. There's really nothing out there that really kind of focuses from a beginner aspect. And that's going to be bit. But other than that, right. So now the Reptile Fight Club, which was the last podcast to join the network, which is basically Justin Julander and Chuck Poland. They is now on Apple. So if you want to listen, if you weren't able to listen on Apple Podcasts, you can now get it. And obviously, Spotify does a much better job with like releasing the pod. Like as soon as you click the button on,
it's on Spotify.
We use Transistor to host it. As soon as you click it, boom, within 10 minutes, it's up there. Apple takes like 2 weeks. I'm like so upset because I'm such an Apple fan, but it is what it is. Oh yeah. Good point, Riley.
Do that. Yeah. Do what Riley said. Yeah.
Oh man, they're giving us a list of all stuff.
Yeah.
Step
No hats.
1, no noodles.
No
Step 2,
booping of the
no
snoot.
boops.
Yeah.
3, no hats.
You're gonna learn the lesson not to boop the snoot their own way, because the first time I saw somebody try to smack one of my white lips on the face, he let him have it, and I'm like, there you go. Yeah. Don't touch.
I got to tell you that one of the podcasts that I'm quite enjoying at the moment, that's probably is one I really enjoy listening to, is the Australian Herpetoculture podcast. Obviously because I love Australia, obviously because those guys are just
in Australia.
Jason and Luke,
Australia.
Yeah, it's great to hear an Australian podcast from actual Australians,
not us Philly idiots. Yeah. So
but yeah, good stuff. So you should check those out. And obviously we're going to be doing more stuff. So I'm hoping I'm going to get some good video footage for this channel from Texas. So you'll be able to see some of the some of our adventures and some of the animals that we find and stuff like that.
How many times you're going to be like, Owen wishes he was here. Like I'm going to count how many times is that it's said on camera.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And so you should definitely check. I do love Justin and Chuck's podcast too, because I think that it's something new and different. And like I said before, I think like a lot of us podcasters will go on and we'll talk about a topic or whatever, and we never really, like, sometimes we'll agree, sometimes we'll disagree, but for the most part we usually agree. So we're talking from one side of it, whereas Justin and Chuck sort of argue, like they flip a coin, which I find fascinating. Like you got to be really prepared.
Can you imagine topic,
like, you know what I mean?
You imagine having to like argue for something that you're vehemently like against, like it would be bad.
Yeah.
Like, and I want you to debate the joys of breeding ball pythons. Fuck.
Yeah. So yeah, we got that. And I'm trying to think, I'm probably forgetting stuff or whatever.
Well, but, I mean, and also we there's a ton of them, because there's the Monitor podcast, there's Caliber Corner, there's all the other stuff that we have going on. There is a shit ton of podcasts. If you're on this channel and you can't find a podcast to listen to, are you even trying? Like it is. Yeah. I will say that apparently they're going to have some kind of Monitor Fest out in Chicago.
Yeah, we should have. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because Mike from from Mike's Monitors.
Yep.
And
And,
in 2022, and Brian Waterloo, right?
Yep.
They're going to do a Monitor Fest, which is pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Darren Boswell is
Darren
here.
Boswell's here.
The Marble King.
My God. An Australian's here.
Yes.
So it's
yeah, they're going to be doing a Monitor Fest, and I guess it's in Illinois, right?
Yep.
I don't know exactly when in 2022. I should have those dates.
I think I got it here. Give me 1 second. Keep talking.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty awesome. A bunch of Monitor guys and girls are going to get together and, just share their passion for them. Mike's such an awesome dude. His freaking Mertens monitors, man, they just make me so happy when I see them.
Yeah, they're doing it May 20th to the 22nd in 2022.
So they're doing a whole weekend. Holy shit, they ain't messing around.
Yeah. It's almost like we should get off our asses and start kind of to
Carpet Fest. Nick was busting my stones.
It must return. It must return.
He was busting my stones about Carpet Fest, and I was like, "Well, if you're feeling cheeky, man, why don't you host it?"
Yeah.
And he's like,
"Why don't you host?"
Listen, you grumpy old man.
No. He's Northwest. He cannot host the Northeast. It's not how it works. I love Nick, but he's not ready to host an OG.
No,
I mean, no. He is the offshoot. That's fine. That's all they can. That's all they can handle.
There is going to be a Carpet Fest in Australia in 2022, and if we can get to Australia in 2022, I promise you that I will be there. If we're able to fly there, if
you may have to me a reason
Eric
to smuggle Eric in a crate. Yeah,
I will be there. I promise you. I promise you. How awesome would it be to not only go to Australia, but go to a Carpet Fest in Australia? Holy shit, man. I'd be out of my mind.
Problem is that we'd be there and it'd be like, we like carpets. They're like, we found this one today. And I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah. So a lot of things going on in 2022. I will promise you this. The Northeast Carpet Fest will return in 2022.
Yes.
Absolutely. 100%. I don't know if it'll be at my place. Maybe we'll have to rent a hall at some, be just crazy insane. So
we can't have it at Eric's because we're going to end up burning down his house.
Yeah, I don't think that my house could handle the capacity because people are just going out of their mind to get to a Carpet Fest.
And if the second we open those gates, it's just going to be
and
massive.
There's just, I hate to say this about all the other Carpet Fests and all, right? And maybe I'm biased. I probably am, right?
Very much so.
This is where we started it.
Yes.
This little idea that we had about, just a bunch of snake nerds getting together, drinking some beers and, eating some barbecue and just shooting shit and having a good time with each other and getting to know each other on a personal level. But there's just something about the OG, man. There's just something about that group of people. I don't know if it's because it's like it's hardcore, like those MP forum people, and like every once in a while you're getting these dude, it's just the perfect mix of people. The other Carpet Fests are great too. I'm not saying that at all, but they're not
our
there's
Carpet
a
Fest.
We're
biased.
The OG, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got Jason Balin, Mike Curtin, Scott Borden and, Keith McPeak and like Matt Manitola. Like, I don't know, man. To me, these guys are all legends. And like to be able to just shoot the shit and hang with them. And, Rob always comes out. Rob Stone always comes out for the thing. And of course, there's Owen. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I've only ever been to two Carpet Fests. This one and the defunct one in Texas.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on down there in Texas, man.
Lost a chapter. They
dropped what happened? What happened? Somebody went crazy and said, "Let's have a Chondro Fest." And I'm like, "Why are you changing the name? Come on, man." It's like say,
away
and
from
it's just our
safe little, group here, and you lost it.
Yep. So
sad.
Let's see. What do we got? Definitely. Yeah, you definitely. I'm telling you, man. If anybody that's out there that's listening, we've said this a million times, and the thing that stands out to me, and Owen, you can relate to this, is the people that missed the boat on ICAST, right?
Yeah.
There was people that were go next year, it'll do it next year, and they haven't done it since. And goddamn, did you miss an event? That was the event of all events that I ever went to. I mean, to talk. Fun. No, like to physically talk to Daniel Natusch right in front of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nick Mutton's over
Well,
here.
it's like you went
Rico
from
Walder's over there.
you went from like one
Trooper
table,
Walsh is over there.
Everywhere you turned, there were like, now you'll hang out with a bunch of cool guys at Tinley, and you can talk to a bunch of people there. But like this one was at one table, I'm talking to Buddy Buscemi, and then I turn around and I'm talking to Rico Walder, and then I go over here and I'm talking to Nick Mutton, and then I sit down and I'm talking with Casper and having a beer. It's like everywhere you turned, there was something cool happening.
Holy shit. You know, Josh Easter was there. I mean, just everybody that you could possibly imagine. Cam from
yeah, we haven't seen Casper in forever.
Yeah, I know. I miss my my little Viking guy. Oh boy.
Oh God, we need a carpet fest. We need it so bad.
Yeah, we do. So this is why I'm so excited about our herping trip. So
yeah, jealous as fucking god damn it.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that, and you should definitely, like I said, you should like and subscribe to the NPR Network YouTube channel. And I think once I get, maybe like doing these blast videos between me and Owen about different things and stuff. And like I said, now that we got Lucas that can edit them up like an editing wizard, we
can make him do stuff. He's an intern.
I think I'm not going to upload stuff to the EB Morelia channel anymore, and just really focus on this one. You know what I mean?
I mean, dude, like I took those videos like they were choppy and they were crappy, and I recorded it and I was all over the place, and then he just stitched it all together. So like I'm seriously probably going to start taking more videos of more stuff, because there's always something interesting going on downstairs in some capacity. Yeah. So like the carpet, the female carpet that has the eggs, the one that's maternal incubating, she's due on the 14th. Like day 60 is the 14th. So next week is when we're going to start
videotape it.
I mean, dude, next week we're going to start hitting into they could be hatching at any day. So
you can tell my age when I say videotape it.
You must get the video cassette camera and reload it, and then just kink and like right in there. Like, yeah.
Did you grow up then where the thing was like this?
Yes. Well, kind of. They were pointed at me as a child, but that's pretty much all.
That's great.
When I was in elementary school, I had the one that was like, it was a camera, and you put the tape in, but then when you popped it out, you put it into like
you had to put it into another tape.
Like it was a VCR tape where like the middle was missing, and you put it in there. So that was the
new age version.
Yeah, that was the big thing I had, and I thought I was hot shit. And
now it's right in your pocket. You got 4K.
So I'm like, Lucas, I'm like, how do I record this? He's like, go to your camera. I'm like, I don't need instructions. Hit the thing at the top and it'll change it. It will? Like, and I just, holy shit, it does. Like, yeah. So,
they had, I have a GoPro for the herp trip, so that'll be cool. Dory got me
again. Nice... we don't have a GoPro strapped to my chest that'll just flash Owen vision as I run around in the woods, and I think we're all the worst for
live stream it.
Exactly. I think we're all the worst for it. It's not like Owen vision and I'm just wandering through the woods. Like it's
oh man.
It's like
oh, that's great.
Like the monkey backpack we had in Australia.
Yeah. We'll close on that.
That we left in Australia.
Yeah. Oh man. The monkey backpack. I have pictures of the monkey backpack.
Oh, do we? Because I've never seen them, nor do I want to.
All right, yeah.
No. We don't need to do that right now.
Hold on. Let's close out with that. Let's start closing it.
Closing it on the monkey backpack.
I will find the monkey backpack.
Right. So I will say is definitely check out all the shows on the channel. There are a bunch from Collie Brick Corner to the Reptile Fight Club.
Of course, you say the one you're on first.
Goddamn right, I do.
Don't say billing. The one you've been on for 10 years.
First billing. Really, you don't. Do we really need an introduction for this?
No.
If you can see right, like over this shoulder is the award we got for best podcast. It's right there.
Yeah, there's one up there too.
See, I know it's on the end. Anyway, so Morelia Python Radio is the OG. There's a ton of different.
So when we were in Australia, so that Owen didn't get lost, I had
He came on a leash.
He had a toddler backpack that was one of those monkeys.
He had a monkey backpack, and I would only let him go so far, so he didn't touch any venomous snakes. Like, come back here, Owen.
No.
I want a water. No, get back here.
No, there's too dangerous out there. Yeah. So.
Oh, that's where we found the Owen Pelly, man, right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't tell people. Not in the car. That's where I laid down on the ground when you were looking for your phone, and then I realized there were centipedes the size of my arm.
Yeah, remember?
I'm like, nope.
You're like, holy shit.
I'm like, don't lay down on the ground. It's bad.
Riley got you that
Riley
backpack,
got us
right?
the monkey backpack because I said something on the show that we needed one to keep me away from venomous snakes, and he sent one to us. So we had to take a picture, and then we left it in Australia.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, hold on, Owen. Get back here.
No. Yeah.
All right. So you said, what? All right.
I don't know. It's just too late.
Now that I'm there.
Humans of Herpetoculture. We have Carpets and Coffee. We have Carpet Cliff Notes. We have Morelia Python Radio. We have Colibri Corner. We have Reptile Fight Club. We have the Monitor Podcast. The Field Herping Podcast.
All right. Here.
8.
I'm going to. Yeah.
I got the 8.
If you would. Okay. So it's pretty simple, right? If you like what we do and you want to support us, first I would say that subscribe and follow us on whatever podcast app you choose. Make sure to also subscribe over here on YouTube. You got Morelia Python Radio, Carpet Cliff Notes, Colubri Corner, Student of the Serpent, Carpets and Coffee, the Field Herping Podcast, the Monitor Keeping Podcast, the Reptile Fight Club, the Australian Herpetological Podcast. I don't know why that's such a tongue tie for
hard
me.
one. Damn, what's going on with that?
So Carpets and Coffee, we do a live stream every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, or no, 1 p.m. Eastern time and 10 a.m. Pacific time. So you can check us out there.
I can be on this Monday's one.
Can you?
Yeah, I'm off.
Awesome.
Oh my God.
All right. You hear that, Riley? And then we do, like, NPR does these little sideshows, right? And I still consider it Morelia Python Radio, but we do the history of herpetoculture, which I think I got a couple people lined up in the wings. One is going to be like Bill and Kathy Love. That would be cool to talk to them.
I had so many compliments on Ron's show. Like, people were,
oh, dude, Ron's the man.
People loved it. They said they were like, that they said it was like, that was the funniest NPR I've listened to in years. I'm like, ouch and thank you. It is like,
oh, and you've been doing a bad job.
I suck. Yeah,
all right. We're about to Monday. I'm going to be putting the finish touching on the Field Herping Podcast, episode 2, because obviously that's like a monthly episode with me and Nipper. And we do have Phil Wolf that is now officially the we stole him from the herpetological.
We do that. We stole him.
Network. I should say we borrowed him. We didn't steal him.
No, we find talent and we steal it.
Yeah. But he does like the species like whenever we're talking about a species on there, Phil will come in and sort of he'll talk about give you some info on it. If you haven't heard that, check it out. This next one is going to be with Lou. I forget his last name. I can't remember his last name. I'm total blank. Anyway, he has that. He's the herper. He's been on multiple. I think he might have been on with Justin and Phil. Maybe I know he's been on with From the Ground Up. I know he's been on that one.
Cool.
So anyway, he does. He's a jet. He flies a plane, so he gets to travel all around the world.
He gets
to herp all over the world. So he has a YouTube channel, and you should check it out. Phil does a great job with that.
And go join the Patreon. Make sure you join on the inland category, because then you can come to the monthly.
Speaking of which,
oh shit, we have to do that this Sunday, don't we?
Yes. We will.
Shit! Wait, did I just sign myself up for Sunday and month? God damn it!
You did. So we'll be doing a live stream, private
opening my mouth
stream for the patrons over there. And Travis gave us a good idea. I guess some of the back catalog is like slowly disappearing from Blue Boyer. That's it. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you so much.
The back catalog is dying.
Oh yeah, look, they keep sending it all over. They're like Boyer.
Yeah,
Boyer.
like
I'm not
you
paying
moron,
attention to the
Boyer.
chat. Would you goddamn say Boyer? Yeah. Anyway, he's got a great YouTube channel. Does lots of field herping. So we chatted with him, and it should be pretty cool. I'm sure at some point, me and Nipper are going to be doing an episode about Texas. Right. So I'm going to be doing a lot of recording, a lot of voice notes, memos, notes from the field, all that kind of stuff. So
you have to promise me that when Nipper comes in October, you're not going to let him hurt me, because Nipper said something about how he wants to get some imbricata just to taunt you. So then I said, well, I guess somebody's going to get all the pictures of all the rattlesnakes we find in Arizona. And he said, oh, and I'm going to be in Pennsylvania in October. And I'm like, should have remembered that. So
yeah, he will.
Yeah.
I hope he can I hope he's able to come over here. I would love to herp with Nipper, man. Nipper is the man. I love that guy.
I mean, I would love that too, but I think he might leave me dead in the woods. So you have to make the buddy system here. He can't kill us both.
He's like, yeah, I know. I think he's probably going to kill you first. I know.
I mean, I will admit I would be the canary in the coal mine.
You probably would
just be like, Owen's gone. Nipper's like, I don't know, and that's when you just assume he's killed me.
Yeah, I can't say enough good stuff about Nipper Reed, man. He's like my he's like, I don't know, man. He's like my
you're like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes.
A very violent Obi-Wan Kenobi.
It doesn't matter what's going on in my life. Like I talk to Nipper and I just feel better, man. I just immediately feel better. And I just he sets me straight, man. He sets me straight. He's very honest. And I love that. I love when people are just straight up honest about shit. They don't like sort of.
That's like Riley's like, just don't mispronounce Nietzsche. And the problem is we're going to be out there and I'm just going to keep trying to find ways to say it incorrectly just to be annoying, because that's just the way I am. Apparently I have a death wish. So
yeah. And Lou's thank you, Riley. See, you know what I mean?
Harry Potter.
Thank God that thank God that Riley's around, and you got these. I know you're always talking about interns and shit, but Riley's on the ball. Look at this. He pulls it right up for me. His YouTube channel for Lou is Lou Boyer, is Lou B747. So if you want to look at some cool field herping, check it out.
He's a very good intern. That's why he's been elevated to intern 1, and Lucas has been downgraded to intern 2. They switch off a lot. It's to me, it's a constant. Eric, you have to pit them against each other, or they'll rise up and crush us. Yeah. So it's.
See, I don't know. I look at you guys as all the same. Like, we can't do this
you
without
look at me at the same level as the interns, sir. I am insulted.
No, I think we're all on the same level. We all can't do it without each other. We all bring something to the table. We all need each other to be successful, and we all do our own thing. But you do have a special place in my heart, Owen. You do have a special place in my heart. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. I tell you all the time, I could never replace you.
Trust me, I've tried. What?
I've tried with so many other podcasts.
So many people. Why do you think we have so many podcasts?
Yeah, I just have safety plans just in case. Anyway, we're doing a lot of rambling. So, I will sum this all up super easy for everybody that wants anything to do with the network or anything like that. It's real simple. You want to see anything that we have going on, go over to MoreliaPythonRadio.com. And everything you need to know about us, everything that we do is all right there.
List of our fears.
Yes, exactly. I still need some bios from certain people that are sort of
Some people haven't gotten you bios?
The newer guys to join the network I haven't really asked them for that yet, but we got to get on that. But anything you want to know about us is over there, and you can follow us on the social media stuff, and there you go. But most important, more than anything, is that just subscribe to the channel, give it a like. Yeah, man. I don't know.
That's it.
Kind of rambling.
Yeah, I'm just letting you go.
Yeah, I see that.
I know. Yeah.
So yeah, this Monday we'll be doing a Carpets and Coffee, and we will have a guest, Owen. I this should be exciting.
It should be a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I like it. You've hurt Owen. I don't mean to hurt Owen.
No. Owen's hurt multiple times per episode, and Owen hurts back just as good. Yeah. Like, you again, you have these moments like today where I'm like, if I hatch this carpet python that he said could and would show up, that I remember going on a giant rant about how he couldn't make it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be one of those like I have to tell him. I don't want to tell him, but it's like,
how do I tell him this?
So I not picture this animal. Like,
maybe I can send it to Riley and say it hatched out of the citrus tiger.
What I can do is I'll sell it as something else, or I'll get rid of it very quickly. And the problem is that like that would be like the one Hamburg you would go to, and it'd be standing at, like sitting on my table, and you'd be like, "What the hell is?" And I'd be like, "Son of a bitch!"
I knew that pinstripe carpet would work.
I knew it would work.
So yeah. So this will go. Well, one last thing before we go. Me and Rob were talking about there was a guy that he wanted to talk to on the show and whatnot. Maybe it'll tie into herp history. I'm not really sure, but probably more of a interview style. But the guy, it's outside of our box and outside of our wheelhouse, but it's more Alterna based. So he's an Alterna king snakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking to him, and Owen will have Alterna within the month.
You're like Alterna king snakes. I'm like, I know what Alterna are. Like it's like,
well, you said Alterna, like Alterna.
No, it's. God damn it!
Now that you're pissed off, we will leave.
God damn it!
Yeah, there you can find them.
That'll be good.
Not like our hair.
No, I can't.
Monkey friend.
The problem is that if we have a show about Alterna and you guys go and have a freaking field day in Texas, I'll probably end up with Alterna, and I'll be like, no. So
yes, yeah. So that's in the works. You probably won't hear that show until we come back from Texas, though. So
thank God. Okay.
Yeah. So it's probably a couple weeks.
It'll be worse then, because then Rob will be like, I found so many. Now listen to this podcast.
Yeah. I'm hoping, dude. I would. You remember those cracks, man? Like walking those.
The problem is, dude, is that like when we came home, and you can put like faces to names of like all the different cuts and what it meant. Yeah. Like I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh shit, we could have found ones that look like this there. Damn, like there. I went through it. And I'm like, there were several where I'm like, oh yeah, I like these. Like I like these. Like so, I had it in my head to. I think I might have to just tell Rob, I'm like, hey, I really like these kind. If you guys are walking that cut and you have a shit ton of them, bring them home. So,
yeah, I know you guys and your colubrids. So,
says the guy who's like, I give everything away and just get rat snakes. Like, what?
Now, see, this is where my words get twisted. That is not what I said. God damn it.
By tomorrow, it's going to be Eric sold everything and got rat snakes.
Everybody's going to be messaging me like, hey, man, I'll take those carpets off your hands.
I'll take them carpets off your hands.
Yeah.
And the message that will be sent back to all of them is get back. Owen gets first pick.
No. So, just so you know, Riley, I'm not giving up carpets. I just said, and you kind of tuned in later, but I said that, you know, if I were ever to pick another group to work with, I probably would work with rat snakes. And I think the reason why is because they're the North American version of a carpet python. There you go.
Them and pine snakes pretty much are the same kind of.
Yeah, I guess they kind of have that same. Yeah, but they're not semi-arboreal, right? They're more fossorial, right?
Their heads are so built for being on the ground. I mean, cool pine snakes are just mean looking. So,
all right. So, thanks for hanging out with us on Friday. You know, if you're here in the U.S., have a good Memorial Day weekend, holiday and whatnot. And we'll keep plugging away with podcasts. And
we promise we'll get
you guys Monday.
We'll get an episode out to you guys in the normal standpoint. From
hopefully I don't have any.
Hopefully Eric doesn't dock next week. It's like
you know, like. Yeah, but sucks being the old guy of the group.
I know, right? Thanks everybody for listening, and we'll catch everybody back here next week for some more Morelia Python Radio. Good night, everybody.
Good night.